Hey, what's going on, guys? All right, Brian and Liz here, building it together. Hope you guys are doing well. We got a little sheet here today. What is on the sheet?
Yeah, we actually have notes.
No, this is not notes. This is a pricing sheet, which I guess are kind of notes. They probably qualify as notes. What are we going to be talking about today?
We're going to be talking about a cost breakdown of where we are at in the process.
Yeah,
which is exciting.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt. I said, you're bringing the last ounce of energy you have for this video today.
Yeah.
It's been a long day. I just got back in cutting grass with the guys, and it's been snowing around here. It's been cold, and you are 2 or 3 days past due for the baby.
Yeah.
So we're not sure when you guys are watching this video, but Liz is like beyond 9 months pregnant, ready to pop with baby number 2. So we're trying to amp it up here, get some energy. All right, if you guys want to do me a big solid, here's what I'm gonna ask you guys really quick on the video. If you enjoy it by the time we're done, hit a big thumbs up, super appreciate that. Maybe consider subscribing if you're new. We're talking about building our home, our life, our business, everything together. That's why it's called Building It Together. So we invite you guys to come build your dream with us as well as we all build it together. But also leave a comment down below. What is your guys' guess, all right, to the nearest thousandth, whatever, of how much money we've started investing in the home before we've ever broken ground?
Is this including the land or not including the land?
Not including the land.
Okay, can you give them a rough breakdown of everything?
So things we're going to be talking about,
like
like architectural plans, permitting, staking, more permitting, consultations with designers. So it could be $1,000. It could be 20 grand. It could be 50 grand. It could be hundreds of grands. I don't know.
I hope it's not 100.
I do know here because we do have a total final number breakdown. But if you guys want to help out, you guys know comments help the algorithm. Whatever. It's just something fun. Is baby coming?
No, he's just kicking. It's hard sitting up straight.
Well, sit up straight. Good posture. So we're both slinking over. We apologize. So I just thought this would be a fun video because a lot of people always ask, how much does it cost to build a custom home? And how much does it cost to build a little bit nicer custom home? We're building a luxury custom home. We hope this to be our forever home, so we are going all in on it. It is costing us an arm and a leg, but we've been pretty diligent, I'd say, saving some money for it. We've bought our land in 2019. We've been saving the last 4 years for this. We got out of debt in 2019. We've put a chunk of money in the bank, and so we wanted to do it right, and we wanted to build our custom home. We're super excited about having Mike Miller Building Company build the home for us. He's 2018 Home Builder of the Year in southeastern Michigan. Great dude. We'll have him on the channel. Andy's our project manager and partner of Mike Miller Building Company. Andy's kind of our go-to right now with our project, at least.
Poor Andy.
Poor Andy. But you guys will probably see Andy a little bit more in the videos. You might have seen him a couple times in the background. He's been great so far. So what we wanted to do is just share some preliminary numbers. I hope to do a couple videos like this along the way, along the journey. We've got 12 or 13 months that this home is going to be under construction.
We're already in a month, like
dude, second time. We're a month into this process. We got 12 more months to go. Hang in there, buttercup. Pregnancy brain is real. But any which way. So I do plan to share a bunch of numbers. We probably won't share like every single number along the way. You guys can probably make some general assumptions at the cost of the home. I do plan to share that maybe like long term, but for right now, we're just trying to stick to the budget. So we'll go through some of the numbers. Okay, so this is part one. This is before we've ever broken ground. All right, ready to hop into this thing?
Yes.
Did you guys leave a comment down below? How much do you think? 5 grand, 10 grand, 100 grand? The closest person to the winner gets a free copy of 0 to 100K, my lawn care book. That's such a lame gift. We'll have to get him something along the way. But do you have anything that we can give him away on this channel? We don't have any merch. We don't have anything. We're just hanging out here.
I'll give you a thumbs up.
We'll give you a thumbs up. We'll give you a high five. An emoji high five if you're the winner, okay? So let's break this down really quick. All right, so we thought when we built our home that we would just be find a plan online, find a builder, and that was it. Like, we didn't think it'd be that complicated of a process.
We actually have a subdivision near us that we really liked the homes of, and we thought ideally, like several years ago, that we would just buy land. We checked with the builder that they built offsite as long as it was close to one of their current construction sites, and we were just gonna pick basically a subdivision home and just put it on our property.
Yeah, that's a great point. I forgot about that. We actually went with Toll Brothers. We like their Toll Brothers homes. A lot of you guys actually, a couple of y'all that follow work or have bought a Toll Brothers home, which is pretty cool, and they make great homes. But unfortunately, they did not build where we were buying land at because it's too far away from a recent subdivision development. So if you buy something like an acre, you know, within 5 minutes of that thing, they may consider it. Some of the different builders, but unfortunately nobody we were finding was able to do that. So we lucked out when we bought the land, the realtor had a sign on the property, which was Mike Miller's sign. I didn't know who Mike was from Adam. We actually had already kind of started the process through another architecture company, and we were looking to find a builder, and we totally just realized, wait, what's that sign that's on our property? I know it sounds kind of funny, but there was a sign up front. We ended up calling what was Mike, and he spent, what, 30, 40 minutes on the phone with us?
At least. And we were just calling as to like, hey, like, what do you think of the property? Like, what do you know, like, just asking him general questions, not necessarily to be our builder, just, you know, I think he had the land surveyed maybe. Or there was something there.
Some like spec model homes that they could build on that site, like a farmhouse and some different things.
Yeah. So we just spent a few minutes talking to him, and he really took his time and like opened up for us, and with already he knew that we were already going with somebody else. So he was answering questions and kind of like leading us, and, you know, maybe check this out, maybe look into this, and just genuinely like spent time with us on the phone, and we immediately felt comfortable with him, more comfortable with him than the builder we were planning on going with.
Well, the architecture company we were going with, even, because we hadn't even found a builder yet, but they're kind of one and the same.
They're one and the same. It's in-house.
Yeah. Great point. So we had not committed to anybody just yet, and I'm really grateful we found Mike, because we didn't even know where to really start with this whole process. And through that conversation, we actually ended up saying, hey, let's get some Panera Bread. Let's talk. Let's meet face to face. Little backstory here, but this is helpful for maybe you guys going down this road of like, where do we start? We want to buy land. Well, first off, make sure that the home that you want to build can be built on the land that you buy. Make sure it perks. Make sure that you have enough acreage, access points, utilities are there. That's a whole nother
It seems like there's two ways to do it. Either you get the home that you want to build all figured out, or you buy land and then find a home that could go on that land. Like
we bought
like
land
chicken
first.
Or the egg.
We bought land first, knowing we could build the home that we wanted. But Mike really helped us hold our hand from there forward. So we got Panera.
Yep.
Talk to him about that process.
He just sat us down, told us about his process. It's, you know, there's a few different ways that builders can work with you. There's all sorts of different loans you can get, and then, you know, each individual company has their own way of doing things. The way Mike does things, we liked, because the way that we, you know, he doesn't have all of these things that, you know, go into the home, and then he puts his fee on top of them, and they're all kind of hidden in there. It's very, you know, we pay the line items of, you know, the cement going into the driveway, to the framing, and then Mike's cost is outside of all that. So it's not written into, like when we do a mulch job, we write in our labor and stuff, and we just give the customer a total price.
I think they call that cost plus. There's two different types. I'm going to try to get Mike on maybe a video one day. If you guys would like to see that, let us know. But I think ours is called cost plus. There's two main styles. One is you got a budget for 500 grand and the builder fee's baked in, or you're going to build a 800 grand home, and then the builder gets 10, 15, 18, 20%, whatever their builder fee is.
Yeah.
So that's how ours is set up with Mike. So,
and there's not a right or wrong way to do it. I just felt like this is super transparent. Obviously, we know Mike's time is worth money and want to make sure that he gets compensated adequately.
100%.
So I like that it's just an open book. I know, I can't, I'm just like, I don't know.
All right, so let's get into the meat of the video. Okay, so that Panera Bread meeting, we had probably 2 or 3 hour powwow. He explained the whole process. He goes, all right, let's start step 1. Do you have plans? Where are you guys at in the design process? We said no. So he goes, do you have anybody in mind? We said no. He said there's a great firm in town, TK Design, Todd and Katie. They're over in South Lyon, Michigan. They do architecture plans, if I'm not mistaken, all across the country. So if you guys need a home plan, architecture plan, residential, commercial, apartment complexes, they do all of it. Great people. It was such a solid people.
We have a video with them if you guys want to check it out. But just a synopsis, like a quick summary. It was such a cool experience because Mike's worked in our area for
a long time.
They're also at the time, we're doing Mike's own house. Like, we knew we could trust these people, and their process from start to finish was so, like, people always tell you, you know, I could never build my own home because there's so many options and things to think about. And between TK and Mike, we've really gotten it streamlined where we trust their opinions on stuff. They've been doing it for a long time, but we also have the flexibility where we can say something like, you know, I want to add a slide in
Very
the house.
customized, yeah.
And they can figure it out for you or tell you what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. We had a whole list of things that we wanted in our home. We've been looking at building a house for a very long time, and we were able to take this list, give it to TK, and within like the first 15 minutes of our first meeting with them, they had pretty much laid out the current home we're building, which is
I'd say
insane.
90% of where we were at is what we finalized with.
Yeah.
Which was really, really eerie and crazy. But they were like the same chemistry.
Read our mind.
Yeah, they were on it. Like, it was really good. So outside of the Panera Bread meeting that we had with Mike, which was probably $25. Well, today's mine's probably $50 for Panera, which I didn't put that expense in here, but hey, we'll take care of that when we got you, Mike. So first thing, we did architectural plans. Do you want to drop the bomb on how much that was?
So they're not cheap.
Go ahead.
$17,300.
So that might be a lot to you guys. It might not be a lot to you guys. By the time we're done, this might blow your mind how much we've spent before we ever dug a hole.
Yeah.
It blew our mind, to be honest with you.
I will say, we looked at, there's another home builder. So there's kind of the subdivision home, there's the completely custom home, and then there's this kind of in between that I don't know if there's an exact name for, but we had looked into this builder where they have already made like home plans for
like
you.
a 2,800 square foot home plan.
Yeah, and then you can go
whatever.
through and kind of adjust things, but there is limitations to how much you can adjust it, obviously. And so we looked at that, and that alone was like
Already thousands of dollars.
like $10,000
Yeah.
plus dollars, and you can only take the customizations so far. So at the end, I don't feel like, while $17,000 is really expensive, I don't feel like it is that unwarranted, if that makes sense.
Totally. I would 100%. That's the video we did with Todd with TK Design. Built using a spec plan that you buy off of some bulk website that maybe copyrighted the plan, or if you go with a custom plan in general. 100% do not buy a spec home plan online and then take it to your builder and say, or your architect and say, make this for me. Please don't do that. That's what Todd's suggestion was. That's my suggestion. I don't think you're gonna get the home you want. It's not gonna be as efficient as you want. It's not made out for cost savings as you want. It's not spec'd for your area.
There's things regionally that you can and cannot do, and so you might find this beautiful home on Pinterest and you click it and the plans are available to buy, and it seems really easy to just, this is what I'm gonna do, but it may or may not make sense for your area, and those plans themselves are thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
So I don't know, up to you guys, but that was our best piece of advice so far.
Well, we were at Panera and Mike goes, well, most home plans are about $3 to $5 per square foot, and somehow, some way, I figured the home would be 2,500, 3,000 square feet. I said, yeah, $1,500, dude, no big deal. And he goes, sure. And I didn't even connect the dots. He didn't call me out on it. I get in the car, and one of us said, wait a minute, if the home's 3,000 square feet times 5, I went, oh. I said, that much for architecture plans? That should have been my first red flag, that homes cost more money.
Obviously, math is not our strong suit. We cut grass for a living.
The math didn't math. All right, so already on the board, 17,300. And we're gonna burn through a lot of this.
A lot of this will go faster.
So we'll go a lot quicker. Jacobson and Associates, the topography survey. I have no idea what that was. How much was that?
$2,000.
I think that's just the survey plan for the home site.
To get the grading of
Yeah, actually it's a pretty cool plan.
Yeah.
I have no idea what they're doing with it, but it tells us where we can build, where we can't, where it perked, I think. All the different elevation.
The topographic survey is literally just...
Well, the topography.
It's like a topographical map or a mountain.
By the way, this was in...
How do they do that? I have no idea.
We started the TK design process in September of 2020. It is now spring of 23. Just to give you guys a quick timeline, I thought that might be helpful. That's almost, was that 2 years? Two and a half years.
COVID happened, obviously, in between that.
That's true. Which held us up a lot.
I honestly was grateful for the time, though, because we made so many adjustments.
That's a great point, really quick. Not to go down 70 tangents, but if you guys are building a home, give yourself some time. Don't buy a plan tomorrow and hope to be breaking ground in 3 months. I would highly encourage you to not do that. I'm really glad that we've kind of tiptoed through this whole process, because we've made some significant plans that if we would have just rushed this whole process, I know I would be forever bitter or a little bit resentful of why didn't somebody tell me this? So,
and they're not huge things, but the more you think about it, you actually have your home plan, and we at night, I'll speak for myself, when I can't sleep, I walk through the house
all the time,
and they're little things you wouldn't think about, but that would really affect your day-to-day basis, how a door opens, to, all these little things. And I feel like when you hear people's regret list on, I don't know if you've watched YouTube videos on this, but there's what I regretted when I built my house or what I would do differently, and it's these people that not necessarily rush in, but you get the plan, you're okay, we're digging next week. And I wished at the time we could have done that, because it was hard to wait, but I am grateful for the time that it forced us to really, really go over everything with a fine-tooth comb.
Another couple friend of ours, they built a shop, and they said, make sure you have a non-negotiables list. That could be a really good quick tip.
Yeah.
Like maybe having a master downstairs. Maybe you have to make the master smaller, but don't save $50,000 by putting it upstairs, knowing that you always wanted your forever home. And if you get older, you do not want to be going up flights of stairs. Great point. All right, so while we were building the home, we figured, hey, we might as well just build the basement. There's a lot of conversation there, maybe some more topics for another time, but we did want to finish the basement. We didn't want to walk out. We didn't want construction 5-10 years from now, redoing the whole basement, finishing it up.
We just want to be done when the house is done.
We've lived in things that had to like get redone or rebuilt, or you lived in a home where it was always getting modified, and we didn't want to do any of that. So we went back to TK and said, hey, just kidding, we're not done yet. Let's do the basement plans. How much was that?
Not bad, $460.
That was actually with a credit that we had. I think we were like $2,000 credit along the way. So I think that was like $2,460.
Okay, that makes more sense.
It was another 2,000 square feet at $5. It was another couple $1,000, whatever it was. But I know it was a much simpler design. They have different pricing for like the first floor, the second floor, and the basement. So the basement was a lot cheaper for us to design. Any which way. So then we were like, hey, we need some interior design help. We had a retainer for design help. That was how much?
$1,000.
All right, and we're gonna get into that a little bit more because we have some big chunks with the designer. But originally that was just a retainer to get her on board. JB's home energy calculations. I have no idea what that is. This is in July of 21.
$225.
Just fantastic. Sounds great. I think that's just like maybe a township or state or DTE electricity, kind of your utility, to figure out what you're going to be spending for your energy for the home. I think you need to submit that for the permitting process. All right. So Livingston County, that's the county we're moving into. Driveway permit.
$50.
We got to pay $50 to build in a driveway.
No, just the permit.
Just the permit. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Just to say we can.
Oh, that's what I'm saying though. But no, our driveway's $5,000. We're not. That's not on this just yet. Engineering Reproduction Center not available. I don't know who or what
this is for, but we paid $81.15.
I'm tracking every expense. I'm budgeting. Dang it. Because everybody always says when you build a home, add 10% in time and 10% in money. This is so far true. Blink if you're in trouble. Ours is like a lot more. All right, then we get the permitting conversation going with the county.
$115.
For a new home permit. Go ahead.
Residential waiver from our county, $60. Septic permit, $350. Livingston County's residential well permit, $275. And Livingston County land use permit is $75. So I have to have a permit
to use my land.
To use my, I guess.
I don't know.
Okay.
All right. So all the permitting all in is another $500, $600, $700. It's just ridiculous. Any which way. One thing here, interior design consultation. So this is all before we breaking ground. This is all before we sign the building contract with Mike Miller. This is all just leading up to it. We're still like getting our ducks in a row. And this is since September of 20 through March of 23. So this is a 2.5, almost 3-year process, which is crazy. I thought it would happen in 2 minutes.
So we have a couple different line items for this. This was for our designer to go through our floor plan. And just kind of help us streamline things, like again, where those doors are opening and you know, what kind of a door we're going to have on that. And, you know, thinking about how far back we're going to push our chairs out from our dining table and making sure those spaces are big enough. Things you don't think about, again, until you're living in the home. I was more than happy to pay somebody to help me not make those mistakes. And then as well as she went through and got a general idea of the design type we're going to go with for our home.
What do they call that packet? Like the color packet, the warmth packet, like how it feels?
I don't know.
But you know what I'm talking about.
There's a name for it where it's like a mood board basically for your entire house.
Yep.
And then there was something else, but I don't remember what this one is for.
It might be the basement, working on the basement.
That's right. She looked at our basement.
So for example, it is really helpful to go have an interior designer. That's what we found. To make sure like your sight lines are correct. Like for example, where a TV was on the living room wall, to the main arch in the living room, to the island, to the sink, to the stove, everything was a little like jagged.
Shifted?
Yeah. And she said, well, hey, we need to shift this wall out, shift the kitchen counters down, center the stove. Actually, originally we had the whole island turned 90 degrees,
yeah,
which was bizarre. She was like, why are you guys looking out the backyard? Wouldn't you want to look at like the living room and the TV? And it wasn't like one's better or not, but we're like,
it was just a preference thing. And I had told her that symmetry is very important to me, that I will sit here and stare at things. Like there's things here where we live now where I just stare at them all day because they make no
Our
sense.
island in the living room or the kitchen here needs to be moved over a whole foot.
It makes zero sense. I think
literally
it's like
makes
an
no
ADA compliance thing. It has to be. That's the only thing I can think of. Anyways.
The island's off 2 feet.
So after doing this, living here for 2 years, 3 years at the time, I'm like, symmetry is very important to me in my house. Like and she's like, okay, well, this is what we could do to make the whole basic first floor line up better so you're not going to stare at things.
We made the garage bigger. We moved the whole living room and dining room wall out, like added square foot to the home about 3 or 4 feet because it just helped the whole living room and kitchen lines all line up.
Everything from like the dead center on our mantle of the fireplace in the living room lines up with the dead center of our kitchen island, which lines up with the dead center of the radius, which lines up with the dead center of the oven and the hood and stuff. It sounds probably silly to somebody who doesn't care about these things, but I really obviously do. So I was very thankful for that. I'd pay for it again.
We'll get into the number here, but just a quick second. But she helped us upstairs. We eliminated like 5 or 6 doors in the whole home, like double closet doors or hallway type doors, or how to really get the most efficiency out of the basement spaces. On the 3rd bedroom upstairs, we were able to shimmy in another walk-in closet.
Yeah, that was huge.
That's huge.
In terms of maximizing on square footage and just the general layout of stuff. And it's not that our architect didn't
No, it's just another
do
set
a
of
proper
eyes.
job. It's just, and she was a realtor for years, so she's like, this will help the, if we ever do sell down the road, the resale value. So she's looking at things from just a different perspective.
She helped us redo the Jack and Jill bathroom too.
We had
with sliders and
5 doors or something in it. You have if you don't know what a Jack and Jill bathroom is, there's 2 bedrooms, and in the center is a bathroom, and they can either it's just open to one big bathroom, or there's 2 sinks, and then that opens into where the bathtub is. There's a bunch of different ways to do it, and so she really helped us kind of flow that out. And now we have
3 less doors.
3 less doors. The commode is in its own room.
The commode, that's huge. It has its own door.
So there's privacy.
There's privacy. Before we just had a freestanding toilet, which wouldn't have been good for kids because they would have been fighting all day. Now it's in a door. But it took a lot of finagling, and she was able to help us out with that.
It went from having the toilet and like a shower bath combo with a sink to separate vanities, a toilet in its own room, a commode room, the bath and stuff, and there's even a vanity place. I don't know how the square footage of the room is just utilized so much better.
So much better. But it's another set of eyes. It's another perspective. Very, very grateful for that. We looked at the whole basement, like where's the egress windows, which rooms should use the egress windows, how can we get the most natural lighting down there. Mm-hmm. Just some really great ideas.
Off the homeschool room, we were concerned because that's there's only 2 windows in our entire basement. They're both on the same side of the wall or the same side of the house. So I didn't want to have a completely dark living space down there, but I also didn't want our homeschool room to be in the dark, or the kids' playroom. That just sounds like a dungeon. So she basically figured out a way for us to open up the whole wall when we're
2 big barn doors.
With depending on how you want to use the space, and then if you do need to close it off, you can. It was just so many things we didn't think about.
Yeah, and we're really grateful. I would say interior designing can be very expensive. $1,000 to $5,000 retainer. Some of these folks want 10s, 30s, 50s, thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. We were able to secure for a small retainer, just some hourly contract type work, just a quick glance. We didn't need her to pick out furniture and every single nitty gritty detail, although she's available for all that if we ever want to utilize her for that, which we could still. But it was great just having another set of eyes on the plans.
They're just like builders. Interior designers work in several different ways. You can either pay them per project, and so you pay them $30,000, $60,000, $70,000 to work on your home with you from start to finish, or you can pay like we do with a retainer, and then hey, we're gonna go to a cabinet meeting, could use an extra set of eyes and flow on things, and then you pay for that time with them, which is really cool.
That's been great for us. What was the fees associated with that? This is the best money well spent.
$1,386.75, $2,331, $301.50.
So all in 23, 33, 34, 35, 36. So about $4,000. I think that's money well spent. Because if we had the arch in our living room not line up with the counter, the stove, and the TV,
I would have been so irritated.
I would have literally renovated the home 12 months later, which would have been astronomical in cost. So it is great to just have, like you said, though, it's a great point. The builder looked at the plan, the architect made the plan. We shared the plan on, to 100 different friends or, 20 different friends. nobody really picked up on any of it. But it's good having somebody else's set of eyes. And that's what this whole process is all about. All right, what do we got for time?
So,
we got to get moving.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We have another line item for TK Designs with the basement because we had put in a gun range.
Oh yeah, I X'd out my gun range. That was cost kind of got a little rampant, and that was $100,000 that I could still revisit one day, but not right now.
No.
Actually, what it is, I had a kid, and I realized that's a stupid decision, in my opinion, of course.
Mike Miller Building, draw number 1 for $5,000. So that was our deposit to get Mike, basically.
Yeah, that's
going.
a contract.
Yeah.
To secure his contract. We'll get into builder fees and all that mess as we go down the road.
Another TK Design.
Room redesign. I think that was the upstairs.
605. I think after going through everything with Megan, we said, you know, we have a couple changes we want to make, and they just charge us an hourly rate of, you know, making these small but big changes, and that was $605. And then
what was the $605? I think that was pushing the wall out that we had talked about just now.
that was pushing the wall out, changing the doors around,
Yeah.
the entry points, the bathroom. We redid part of the basement guest suite down there to make it flow better.
Eliminated a couple doors. Yeah, I mean, and each door, this is money well spent. Each door is a couple $100, a couple $1,000. I don't know. So what we've saved just in doors paid for our designer fees. That's a fact.
Last line item is Mike Miller Building Co. permit fee file.
Permit file.
$1,594.
More permits and re-permitting of everything. We pulled permits, pulled the e-brake, then we had to basically file a lot of our permits and then some more permits to get this whole thing moving. So
thanks, COVID.
$1,594 all in. Okay, so a lot of words. This is before we ever broke ground on the home. This is ridiculous, okay, to me. Like, I thought we would just get some plans, $1,500, hire a builder. I thought we'd be breaking ground 90 days later. This is not even the land investment, right? Which we bought some significant cost land because there's no land available where we live. By the way, there's lots where we live. We're moving 20 minutes west of here, but right where we live right now, a quarter-acre lot can go for $200,000 to $400,000.
No.
Right now. Like, there is no land available where we live in Metro Detroit unless you want to pay an arm and a leg or move 30 to 45 minutes west or north. So, all in, if you guys haven't left a comment down below and you're trying to cheat, I know if you say this exact number, I know you're cheating. So, if you haven't left us a comment down below letting us know what do you think we've spent so far, before we start reading all these numbers off, you got to leave me a quick comment, help support the algorithm. You guys know how YouTube works. All in, you want to tell them?
$34,000. There's a lot of 34.
34,000. Actually, I'm now not
You're
saying
having trouble too.
$34,034.40.
Thank you.
So we're 34 grand in before we ever dug a hole. That's insane. That's insane. Which is also why it took us a couple years to cash flow this along the way, save our money.
None of this is all outside of the mortgage. Like, there's certain things with the house that we're financing, and then there's certain things that we are more comfortable paying for out of pocket.
Yeah, we're cash flowing a little bit of it. Yeah. Not all of it.
There's no way we could cash flow the entire home, but
the idea was to put to pay off the land and to put 20% down on the home. So it took a long time to save a big chunk of money. I always joke, if I want to go build a $750,000 home or buy a spec home, hey, 3.5% FHA, we're good to go. It's not how it works with a custom home. You have to pay off the land or roll that into your new mortgage and usually put anywhere from 15 to 20% down for a new construction build for your LTV. You might get lucky with a 5, 10, 15, 20% option, but most of the time it's gonna be a 20% down. So,
I always wondered how that works because we technically paid off the land, but like if you default on the home, the bank takes it anyway.
They take the home and the land now, which good luck with that.
It doesn't really make sense.
Anyway, that's what we got for you guys in today's video. Little lengthy one here. If you guys stuck with us the whole way through, we love you. We appreciate you. What'd you guys think? Was that more than you thought, less than you thought? If you guys went through this whole process as well, leave us a comment down below. Let us know if there's anything that you guys...
high, are we low?
Yeah, can you guys relate? Did you spend the same amount?
And I guess that kind of wraps things up. We hopefully will have some baby news.
Yeah, that'll probably be the next video. Where they're at in the home, they're grading the land today, steel's coming, and rough carpentry should start in a couple of days, which is really cool. So there'll be more home build updates to come and new baby as well, hopefully any minute now. But any which way, anything else you want to add? I'll give you the last thought.
Thank you guys for watching and being a part of this community. I know this channel's gone through a few changes over the years, and we're excited to still be sharing our life with you. So.
Yeah, hopefully this helps you guys out with the new construction process. If you have questions, shoot me an email, brianslawmain2007@gmail.com. If you got a question that you don't want to leave publicly, maybe some other specific numbers or something, I'm kind of an open book. Or if you guys got some fun stories like Liz said a minute ago, share them down below. Were we high? Were we low? And
Give us some like positive stories, because I feel like when you go to get married or you have a baby, people are always like, "Oh, this is gonna happen," or "Oh, just wait." Like, that's all we've heard about, like
new construction home.
So tell us like your good stories. Like, I want to hear some. We've heard some good ones, but
yeah,
if you have anything positive to say, please leave it in a comment.
Yeah, I love it. All right, that's all I got. Appreciate you guys. If you're new here, maybe consider subscribing. Like I said, we're building our house, our business, our life, our marriage together. So if you guys want to come build it together with us, maybe consider hitting subscribe, and I'd love to have you guys. Anything else?
No.
All right, over now, guys. Peace out. We
Bye.
love you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.